Podcast starts now. What is up, fans? Congratulations. You are hearing a brand new episode of our podcast, StraightioLab.
That is so lucky.
You're the winner of the list of click and play on the podcast.
What I wouldn't give to, instead of having to be the one to create the content, just press play.
So true.
Because every day we risk our lives.
I mean, politically, we are in danger. We have made so many enemies in a way that is, of course, brave. Of course, we're getting medals and we're being invited to the White House. But despite all that, it is scary.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Can I tell you something that I've been thinking about? Okay, what are the current politics of, like, I remember when it used to be a huge deal to be like, a meme account stole my thing. And then people were like, we have to go to Congress and we have to get Greta Thunberg to comment on meme accounts.
And then they literally changed the laws and made it so now meme accounts will Venmo you $50 when they steal your meme.
Yeah, exactly. But I am sort of like, I'm at the point, it's very self-righteous and fun to be like, I can't believe someone took my name out of this incredible thought I had while taking a shit and put it on their meme account. But then you're like, okay, but then I'm following Patia and I'm like, yeah, like this is so funny. Share.
Yeah, I mean, for the backstory on this, someone stole our meme and the meme that you created, and you texted me today saying our meme has been stolen. It was.
And by the way, I was being, there's, as with everything we say, you know, as we've said before, we're never serious about anything and we stand for nothing. So, you know, when I say, oh, they stole her, I'm like being sort of, I'm kidding. Like, what am I going to do? Be mad at a meme account?
Well, you did sick our Discordistas on them.
Well, then I felt bad. And then I was like, because I commented and I was like, I sort of jokingly, I was like, maybe tag us, mama. Like which I thought was like a funny, I wasn't tagging AOC and being like, I'll see you in court. And then people started piling on to this person who, by the way, is not some big account. So I'm like, what? I think we need to have a UN council to decide officially there's no more ownership.
Yeah, I mean, it is sad that we are in such a capitalist society that we feel ownership over our memes. We need to let go.
We really do need to let go, because you just have to sort of understand that if you're putting something out there for free and you don't own it, then you better believe it might end up on a t-shirt.
You know what is actually kind of sad to me is the idea of someone one day starting a meme account and being like, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And like posting like 6 memes that are fine and getting like 12 likes, and their friends from high school see it and they're like, I guess like Jeff's starting a meme account now. And they're like, is that good? Like, and then when it succeeds, does the friend like congratulate them and be like, hey, congrats on everything that's going on. Your meme account's really doing well.
Well, so I recently, I shouldn't dox this person, but I recently was talking to a friend of mine from college, and she is sort of, it's like her sister's brother-in-law, something or other, someone in her life, like runs a famous like bro dude meme, like straight guy meme account that's called like guy in a suit, like, you know, some whatever, and the whole thing is like making fun of like bros in finance or something. And I won't say what it's called, because God forbid we send our legions of listeners to cancel him in this climate. But the point, but I'm sort of like, everyone like knows that, and everyone's like, yeah, it's really cool. He runs this account. It has tens of thousands of followers. And it's like some aunt being like, isn't that cool what Josh does?
Is it cool? This is what I want to know. Do you, George, think it's cool?
Obviously I don't think it's cool, but you know what I'll say, and it's really depressing, and this sort of gets right to the heart of the matter, is, you know, in my early 20s, mid 20s, let's say, I would be like, God, how lame that someone runs a meme account. Right now, because, you know, I'm raising multiple children, I have a career, I don't have time to actually be online every day and find things myself. So actually, I have become one of those people who's literally like screenshotting a meme account of a WhatsApp meme and texting it to my sister and being like, ha ha ha, right? And she's like, I've seen this.
I mean, yeah, it's confusing. They are doing a service. Maybe, okay, we need sort of a public broadcasting service of meme accounts. We need a government-sponsored meme account, and that way there's no profit in memes. It's purely public service, and then it's good. With the BBC of memes.
Well, of course, the federal government needs to get involved, which seems to be our solution for everything nowadays.
Yeah.
It actually seems to be specifically your solution to everything.
How I think the government should be much bigger.
Yeah. Well, because you have leftist politics. And so anytime there's an issue, you're like, well, the government should take care of that.
Because there's so many things that people are like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to do that. It's like, yeah, okay, let the government do it. Like, here's an idea. The government should do it. I mean,
yes.
That's what they're there for, right? To kind of take care of the stuff that nobody wants to do. I'm not going to build a road. Yeah. The government should.
Yeah, maybe if we weren't literally starting illegal wars every day, there could be meme accounts that were ethically run.
I mean, let's start there.
Yeah. You know what else? God, this is such a sort of, it's talking about the internet. I mean, who has the time? Of course. But something that is very strange is like seeing these, it's like you see these accounts, you follow them. Like an example is that account that's like every outfit on Sex and the City.
Yeah.
I remember following that when I was like in college. What a fun account. Like I love every outfit on Sex and the City. That one's Charlotte. That one's Miranda. Give me more. And now I'm like, they have like a literal media empire and they are like holding campaign events for Cynthia Nixon.
They're on the cover of Vogue Italia.
They're on the cover of Vogue Italia and they are lensed by Jürgen Teller. And I'm like, excuse me, I thought you were a meme account.
How did you do this? This is a fake thing. I mean, people really do take it as like their artistry. And I'm like, no, you're confusing followers for artistry.
Also, when people have an account that literally posts like red carpet photos of Chloe Sevigny, and then suddenly they're like, okay, you guys, I'm launching a Patreon. And you're like, for what?
Okay, actually, we are talking now about one specific gay man that we will not name or say anything else about.
Ronan Farrow.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know that Ronan Farrow, the person, started out as a meme account that would post GIFs of Lisa Kudrow? Because you heard it here first. And it was so successful that he then became an award-winning journalist and exposed Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
So you just never know what an LGBTQ plus digital creator is capable of. So think about that next time you open People Mag.
And with that, I think we should bring in our illustrious guests today.
I actually agree, and I need both of their opinions on the arguments we have just put forth.
Because there were many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, and I think it will be hard to find a flaw anywhere within them.
100%. So, and by the way, guess what? We're being so professional. I'm about to literally say the name of their podcast so I can promote it.
I love when
you
you're professional.
Believe that?
That's amazing.
It's actually great. It happens once every 8 episodes, I would say. Please welcome the hosts of Dis and Tell, Sydney Battle and Matt Bellassai.
Hi. So I run multiple meme accounts, and I don't.
That actually scared me because I was like, fuck.
And I'll do it again.
You give that energy, yeah.
Oh, wow. That actually is.
I'm kidding. That is probably
Sydney
the
and
deepest.
I just go on podcasts and diss one another. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's probably the meanest thing I could have said. I'm so sorry.
That is an insult, yeah.
We are all, to some extent, meme account adjacent. I mean, we are creating things online. Like you have to have the humility to not think you are so much better than someone running a meme account of Lisa Kudrow gifs.
I will never forget. I was really humbled one moment where I posted a clip from Reno 911 and I had like said something, and then a meme account took that tweet and posted it, but did like crop out my name. And I remember being like, why go through the extra effort of cropping my name? And the person was like, oh, I'm so sorry that I took this clip that you took and put it on my page. Like,
totally.
It's not like you made this. And I was like, all right, like, yep, that's the last time I get annoyed about something like this, because I cannot have people like this making a valid point.
Totally.
No, little do they know.
I know. Rock bottom.
Little do they know that you wrote, directed, executive produced Reno 911, cast it entirely in order to film it, in order to screenshot it, in order to make a famous meme.
Yeah, sorry, I'm proud of my work as a child director. Like a child.
You played every character. And guess what? It was all improvised. And you improvised it like with one by one each character and then put it all together.
Yeah, like Hollywood might need writers, but I don't, clearly, because in that clip I was just
and you actually did all of that during the 2007 strike, and it was controversial at the time.
Yeah, I was scabbing, but they kind of let me get away with it, like
because you were
10.
Exactly. It was technically child labor, so they were at fault.
Which a lot of people don't know. The only people that could work during the strike were children.
Exactly. It was just like the wartime, which is part of straight culture that I really think we should get back to. Whenever I wear a jumpsuit, it is the most bizarre thing. So many men compliment me on the jumpsuit, and I think it's because they miss the factories.
That is such a good point, actually.
A genius point. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, when they were away at war, women were in the factories wearing jumpsuits. They clearly yearned for that time. It's ingrained.
Men miss World War II like a mother misses a baby. It is
truly
the time when a man could really be a man.
Yeah. We have talked about this so much. We're like, World War II looms so large in our culture because it is the last time morality was clearly black and white.
Exactly. And we've still waited a hot minute before getting involved in that. We waited a real long minute.
Yeah.
I do miss just doing hard manual labor for a good paycheck at the end of the day. You don't get that as a writer.
No.
You don't get the Rosie the River satisfaction at the end of the day.
Damn, imagine if you,
no matter how many jumpsuits you wear, you're never going to get the respect of those factory
No matter
workers.
how many red bandanas you tie in your hair, it'll never work.
Imagine if...
Well, that means something different now, too.
True.
I see a red bandana. I don't know. I don't like it.
100%.
Well, imagine if you ended your day and instead of like an incredible new carousel of memes, you had an entire car built. That would just feel really nice.
To have actually created something?
Yeah, something tangible, something drivable.
To be on an assembly line?
Ugh.
To have a role in that process?
Well, it builds community, first
and foremost. Imagine
first of all,
getting a drink after the assembly line must be so fun. Oh my God.
Right. I mean, talk about
drinking
teamwork.
on the assembly line.
Okay, say that.
It's funny now. All the whole thing is, you work at a startup, you work at a company. Everyone is trying so hard to prove like we're a family. We're a family. On the factory floor, you didn't have to prove it. Like, yeah, you're a family because if one person doesn't do their thing, everything stops working.
And also, your children are there.
And they're working too. Yeah,
in the factory,
and you all have the same like inhalation disease or something.
Yeah, you're all getting radium jaw.
Bloody consumption coughs into their handkerchiefs.
Yeah, take me back.
Take me back, seriously. Ugh. Okay.
Fighting for a standing desk at WeWork is basically the same thing.
They should organize a tech company, like a tech startup, like a factory. Like now it's like pods. It should actually be a factory of standing desks, and each person sends an email, and then it's the next person's job to reply all to the email thread.
That would be incredible.
This is how we fix society.
Society.
Like, okay, well, I guess that's enough for today.
Yeah, I was going to ask what everybody's role would be in World War II.
Oh, see, I was going to ask if you were to run a meme account, what kinds of memes would it be? Or like a single topic account.
Really? Wow. Okay, I have an even darker question. Have any of you considered it genuinely before? A single topic meme account? This is a safe space. No.
Because when I was in college, one of my friends created a Tumblr account that was like specifically memes for our school, and it went like super viral on campus. And after a while, I witnessed how hard she had to reach into the recesses of her mind to create new memes and to keep them churning out. And I watched the quality decline, and I was like, I actually don't want this existence for myself. I think that would be really horrible.
Yeah.
So thankfully, I was exposed early.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked at BuzzFeed in 2012 through 2015, so
it's the elephant in the room. I didn't want to bring it up.
I was witness to everyone tried to start a meme account every single day.
Talk about wartime.
Talk about wartime.
That was my
literally
World War II.
talk about wartime.
BuzzFeed 2012 to 2016. That was when a man could be a man.
I mean, the fact that you made it out alive is a testament to your grit as an LGBTQ plus creator.
Talk about drinking on the assembly line. You drink at your desk.
Yeah, I kind of was the OG. Like, World War II
Yeah.
influencer in that way. I was living like someone on the assembly line at my desk.
You were like the BuzzFeed version of the photo of the woman during the Great Depression holding her children.
Yeah.
But it was you like with a
Just
laptop
sandy
with a
skin.
BuzzFeed OMG sticker on it.
Do you have trauma from that era?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, we all. I don't think anybody has worked in media in the early 2010s who does not have trauma.
It really is a uniquely. I worked on the Gawker reboot recently, and it really is just like it is something that you. It is like being at war, where you really can only bond with other people that have worked at a digital media company.
Right.
There is a veteran right now listening to you say that who is fuming.
We have a partnership with a VA where they play this in all the common areas. So apologies to everyone over there.
Isn't that against the Geneva Conventions?
Yeah, to play a gay podcast.
That, like playing this for old VA residents who have lived through like Vietnam, does that not constitute?
Wow.
Well, when they hear it, it just sounds like two guys being like gay, 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 gay.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
You know how
talk about wartime.
You know that joke.
Two gay guys speaking. that's an old man's
They got
war.
sent to the line, Matt. they all got sent out.
You know that joke where it's like show this to a Victorian child and their head will fall off or whatever, like that's like play this podcast for a war veteran and just like watch them get extremely angry.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Memorial
to
Day
all.
To all.
This podcast is brought to you by the national government,
the U.S.
the military, and veterans everywhere.
I tried to play the theme song for Matt and like our podcast for my grandfather, and 10 seconds in, he was so overwhelmed he had to get off the phone.
Just at the theme song?
Like,
it's sensory overload. Well, he has.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah, I mean, he was at war.
What does he have, George?
Yeah.
What does he have?
But he was
Say
he was
it.
in the Korean War, not much going on with that one. So it was too much. But yeah,
Sure.
So it can overwhelm them legitimately. And once again, shout out to your sponsor.
The
who
U.S.
is
military.
U.S. military.
Yes, the U.S. military.
Well, actually, our sponsors are the U.S. military and BuzzFeed.
The military is out here actually sponsoring podcasts, though.
Oh, trust me.
They might really be sponsoring this podcast. You have no idea.
Oh, wait, by the way, we have no idea who our sponsors are. Sometimes we'll hear ads and we'll be like, oh, all right.
Right.
Yeah, same. Angie's List, or Angie, as they're now called. I think that's one of ours.
Oh, okay.
You go, girl.
We definitely got some complaints
Entity.
about just general guns being advertised, and it was.
We can't, Sam. We cannot talk about that.
Is that real?
It was.
We did have to send an email. Is all I'll say. We were not aware of it, but I'll say everyone on the team is a rock star.
Should we do our first?
And they log their hours at the factory just like anyone else every day. I actually want to ask you guys what the straightest feud you've covered is, but before that, we're going to do our first segment.
Okay.
So think about it. Okay. Our first segment is called Straight Shooters. And in this segment, we ask you a series of rapid fire questions where you have to choose this thing or this other thing. And the questions are meant to gauge your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture. And the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions about how the game works. Even if you are confused, we will yell at you. Do you copy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sam, go.
Okay. A swashbuckler or a smosh YouTuber?
A swashbuckler.
I already.
you have to think?
I lost. I lost the rule. I thought it was.
But
what
see,
we
you're
were
already.
complicit
I can see you're confused, but you have to power through because it's by design.
I'm just picking the one I like.
I think I'll go with the Smosh brother.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh,
All
of
right.
course you would. We just did an episode where Matt admitted that he finds Logan Paul attractive.
Whoa.
It almost caused a rift.
I don't think
You know
that's
what?
controversial.
There's a case to be made.
I
No,
feel
it's
like
not
I have
controversial,
supporters
unfortunately.
here.
I'm not a supporter.
Sam, you and I are stunned,
You know,
shell-shocked, if I may.
Sam, the way that your taste in men is so like immune from any kind of criticism because you actually are never attracted to problematic men.
That's not necessarily
that's
true.
not true. That's not true. Okay, wait, hold on. We need to finish.
Okay,
this.
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We need to talk about Kevin, or there's something about Mary.
We need to talk about Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin, I think.
Okay. Making a tired Helen Keller joke or getting fired even though you're woke?
I'll go with making a tired Helen Keller joke.
Yeah, and I'll choose getting fired.
Okay, cool. Okay, rebooting Frasier or bisexual erasure?
Bisexual erasure.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Okay.
Because who isn't, honestly?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2023. Who isn't?
X marks the spot or sex that is hot?
Sex that is hot.
I'll be controversial and say X marks the spot.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Officiating a wedding or ejaculating on your bedding?
Oh my goodness. Georgie.
Whatever, it's Friday. We're all drunk.
So true. On the factory line.
On the factory line.
I'm trying to think of which one requires less work. And honestly, it's officiating the wedding. Because then I don't have to clean.
It's
True.
true.
Very true.
I agree.
You agree? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calling soda pop, calling pop soda, or calling up your pops to say, hey, how are ya?
As
know
a
which one
Midwesterner,
You should pick. That's
I will
exactly.
call soda pop.
Oh.
And I will call pop soda.
Okay.
Powerful.
Okay. And finally, there's a she-wolf in your closet. There's some whores in this house. Or there's a democratic crisis in this country and someone needs to step up.
Don't the last two, aren't they kind of the same?
Yeah, then thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah. I'll pick whores in this house
Yeah.
and pray that they do something.
I'm gonna go with a she-wolf.
Oh, you're going to go with
Oh,
she-wolf.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Sam and I always rank our guest performance on a scale of 0 to 1,000 doves. And I actually thought they did really well. What do you think?
I actually agreed. I felt like there was healthy disagreement,
Mhm.
and which we need for a working democracy. And I also thought there was I loved the danger of feeling confused at the beginning. That really felt fresh.
Me too.
Right.
And-
And what made it fun for me is that I really thought I knew what was going on until the first question hit me.
Yeah. Well, I really could sense the chemistry between the two of you as co-hosts.
Yeah.
Like you were on the same page, but not being overly like gabby with one another in a way to like prove that, you know, and also sometimes you agreed and sometimes you didn't, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 901 doves.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a 901.
That's really good.
I'm honored.
The biggest enemy is me. It's a 901.
We're one digit off.
I
from
know.
being
I should have just taken it all the way
really-
there.
No, I prefer this. Angel number. No, I don't think it is.
What are angel numbers?
It's kind of
just when
whatever
the
you want it
numbers
to
are the
be.
same. Yeah.
Oh.
Like 1111, 333.
Oh, I literally thought it was just kind of whatever number spoke to you spiritually. That you were like,
I think it is that.
biblically,
essentially.
this number, because the Bible has like every number
Mhm.
almost.
No.
Okay.
I feel
Every
like-
number?
What?
Yeah. If you really think about it,
All of
it
them.
has-
Wow.
It pretty much has all of the numbers.
That's amazing. No one's talking about this.
I've never heard that before, but I actually believe you.
See, this is why I need to
It
read the
is so
Bible. Just know
interesting.
that there's every single
You know-
number.
Yeah, so apparently I'm the only one. of
Wait,
us
I'm looking
four
it up
who have
now,
Read the
and
Bible
there's-
cover to cover.
There's actually there's a post by Matt Bellassai 2013, every number in the Bible ranked on BuzzFeed.com.
Oh my God! Look at what came in at number one.
Yeah.
It's number one.
Matt.
No, the number one number in the Bible I feel like would be 3 because of the Holy Trinity, right?
Catholics.
Right.
I was raised Catholic. We love
Yeah.
a 3.
Isn't there a
3
whole book of the Bible that is just numbers? That's what it's called.
Book of Numbers.
The Book
I'm
of Numbers.
pretty sure.
I think Matt and I, our podcast, apparently there's a whole folder where our producer just cuts out parts where we talk about Catholicism because she's silencing us.
Wow.
Are you guys? Were you both raised Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still practice pretty regularly.
Yeah,
No,
he
I
does
Well,
don't.
practice makes
Day.
perfect.
That's how I use my meme accounts to fund all of the tithe payments that I'm making to the Catholic
Well,
Church
honestly,
every
Matt,
week.
like having a Catholic meme account would be such a great idea. Like to be like a sort of like young gay guy,
Right.
like progressive, whatever. And your whole thing is that you run a progressive Catholic account. I mean, that
Think
would
of
go
how the
viral
Dime
overnight.
That's what I was about to say. Dime Square
Girlies
Fund dead in a
would embrace
ditch.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like when he absolves you of your sins. And it's
Yeah,
like,
talk
you
about
know,
being funded by the
Countess
U.S. military.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if it flops on Instagram, it will thrive on Facebook no matter what. That is
Exactly.
Facebook bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the very, as a very last resort, there is Truth Social.
Really thrive over
Could
there.
really make a splash there.
You could absolutely make a splash.
Mhm.
Damn. Okay, wait. So I do want to know. I'm like, if you guys feel comfortable, what would you say is the straightest? So your podcast is. Am I right to say it is about celebrity feuds, or is it broader than that, about like feuds of all kinds?
It's about society as a whole.
Okay,
It's
cool.
That's
about-
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually changing the world.
Oh,
that's
congrats
interesting.
on that.
Sort of like the Bible.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Do you guys have every number in your podcast or no?
I feel like we've gotten to most of them. Yeah.
But the producer always cuts them out.
Well, she was
Yeah.
raised as a Quaker.
Oh,
So, you know-
okay.
So she was
Yeah.
raised on letters, not numbers.
Exactly.
Whatever
Letters
the
and
albino
community.
monk in the Da Vinci Code was, that is what she is.
I
Oh,
almost
wow.
said his
Okay.
name. Was his name like Silas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot believe your podcast is produced by Silas from the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Talk about a real where is he now? Someone call a BuzzFeed.
Kate, our producer, did tell me recently that I do so many bits about my age that we did an episode about the Dixie Chicks, which of course involved 9/11.
Mhm.
And I said something, and the sound editor reached out to be like, wasn't Sydney 3 years old when this happened? How can we trust anything she says about 9/11? And I was like, absolutely correct. Yes, I was 3. Mhm.
Wow.
Yes.
The fact checkers on our podcast are so strict that we cannot make a joke about anything because they will be
Wow.
like, that is not. Someone will sue us from the grave.
Yeah, Jesus
Okay?
Christ.
Johnny Carson estate
Yeah.
will come after us. It's truly rigorous.
Well, we can
Matt.
relate to that, obviously, because there are so many fact checkers that are like, no, overhead lighting is not straight. It's gay.
Mhm. I imagine. Wait,
Yeah.
Matt, do you think that the Johnny Carson feud that we just covered, do you think that's the straightest one? Because he is a man being a man.
Well, I
In
don't
the
know. The other one,
straightest sense.
he was feuding with Joan Rivers, who is
Mhm.
That's
Gay.
very gay.
Gay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
it's like
I-
keeping a woman from having the microphone, basically.
right.
Oh, yeah.
That's gay behavior.
Exactly.
I'm really trying to think about it because Azalea Banks has that quote about how, like, anytime you see two men fighting, it's a lover's quarrel.
Mhm.
And
That's the thing.
yeah,
like,
so
I-
even if you go.
I want to try to. We actually just did one. I won't even say it, but I was like, the homosexual undertones of this
oh my
feud
God, yes.
are so strong, and yeah, they wouldn't let me say it. I was silenced because we can't prove that they were
Sure.
homosexuals.
Wow, that is crazy.
That's crazy. It's crazy that you're not allowed to start like unsubstantiated rumors on your podcast. Like, what's the point of having a platform?
I
sort
know.
of that's like mostly what we do.
Yeah.
I actually think the straightest one was maybe Justin Bieber, like Haley and
Oh
Selena.
yeah, that
Oh,
one.
yeah,
Or
that's-
yeah.
we're diving
Like,
into
fighting
like,
over Justin
Vanderpump
Bieber.
Rules.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
really good
I
point.
agree.
Fighting over Justin Bieber is very straight. I mean, I would even say that, like, I understand obviously the Dixie Chicks are, I love the Dixie Chicks. We all do. But the Dixie Chicks versus George W. Bush as a news story and as a narrative is very straight.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There are elements of that story that are like aggressively straight in a way that's really, really concerning. Like Toby Keith getting into Photoshop.
I don't know. He's not even visible to gay. He exists on a separate spectrum.
I had never heard a Toby Keith song in my life. And I had actual arguments with the writer of the episode where she was like, there's no way you could have avoided this song. And I was like, well, guess what, babe? Some of us live in a wonderful world, but we've never known Toby Keith.
Even as you're saying his name, I'm like, I don't believe he exists. I've never seen him.
No, it's like you have a picture in your head of what you think Toby Keith looks like, and then you look up a picture and you're like, that was not the man that I had thought.
No.
What's his most popular song?
What is it? No one knows.
I don't know it. I don't know any Toby Keith off the top of my head.
The only song of that general genre that I can hear with my ears is Picture by Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock.
Ugh, what a song.
Talk about a classic.
Talk about a classic. Play that at my funeral.
Literally. Thank God Kid Rock is not problematic.
Thank God. Yeah. Stand-up guy.
Nice
Stand-up
guy.
I love him. He's actually doing the podcast after you guys.
Yeah, loved him campaigning for Bernie. He was so incredible in pushing that movement forward.
So great. Yeah.
I did just learn that apparently his dad is like a millionaire or billionaire, and he just pretends that he grew up in like the trailer park, and
Bernie
he's
Sanders?
like one of the guys. Yes, Bernie. I'm talking about Bernie.
Sanders. Sydney, thanks for exposing Bernie Sanders. He grew up actually his dad is a billionaire. He owns Costco.
He's hiding it really well.
Yeah. Dead ass though, that video that his wife posted on his birthday of him catching that baseball that his grandson hit, I had to pause and rewatch that 15 times. Like, the man is 80 something years old. His reflexes are better than all of us.
And now we're talking about Kid Rock, to be clear?
Yes. To be clear, I'm switching back to Kid Rock now. I'm moving off of the generational wealth baby Bernie Sanders, and now I'm going to Kid Rock.
This is getting, I love how deeply confusing we're making it.
I always get those two confused.
Yeah. Well, they're twins.
Well, they look alike. Yeah. Dick's the Musical. Go see it about two other twins.
It's actually, and that's based on Kid Rock and Bernie, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Jackson plays Kid Rock with the long hair, and then Josh is actually playing Bernie.
I don't want to take anything away from Aaron and Josh, but yeah, not an original story. It's about Bernie and Kid Rock.
Ripped from the headlines, really.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah, someone get them a fact checker.
They literally just transcribed it. It's so unfair that they're getting credit for that.
It. Yeah. God, they're such frauds.
Come on. Yeah. No, but really go see that movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Wait, I feel like we need to get into our topic.
100%.
So Sydney, I'm going to let you do the honors because, we love to credit content creators on this meme account, and this was your idea originally. So I would love to know what your straight topic is and maybe a little bit about what makes it straight.
Taking a nice drive. I think taking a drive with no reason to take one. This is something that I'm considering venturing into in my life. Maybe I just drive to the beach because I want to. Maybe I drive to a random nice neighborhood and then I take a walk. Just driving somewhere to clear my head.
See, what I think one of the straightest, immediately what jumps out to me about this being straight is that the idea of driving being relaxing. For me, as soon as I'm in a car and I'm on the road, I'm stressed out. And I feel like I can only allow myself to do that if I'm going to a place. And I in a car specifically, I don't have the it's about the journey, not the destination. I'm like, no, how long till I'm there? Like, this is a place where I am uncomfortable. And that to me is gay, but that could just be my experience.
No, I do think driving can be so anxiety inducing because so much is outside of your control. But then you get a little high off of the fact that you are so competent as a driver that I know if I got me, I'm going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to tell myself. I'm like, I'm a good driver. I'm going to be okay.
Wow.
But I do agree there is a subliminal anxiety flowing under all things on the road.
Obviously.
Because the other high is like, I could kill someone with this.
Right.
Right? And you're like, that is a kind of power that you just don't have walking down the street.
I agree. And I almost feel like one of the goals for many men of taking a drive is maybe killing someone.
There's always that kind of thrill.
The fact
it's sort of like, well, it could happen tonight.
But it's true.
Fact checkers hate this one podcast.
Fact checkers hate this one podcast. Also, I'm sorry. This is a bad idea for me to bring this up because it is a film I have never actually seen, even though I've heard incredible things. But to me, the film Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, is very like straight guy canon of like, I too could drive and be like Ryan Gosling. And by the way, all I know is that it's about driving.
He's like a trained, almost stunt driver.
Okay.
He's a professional driver for criminal activities. And I grew up with a dad who, not a criminal, but used to talk about how he went to so many defensive driving courses that he does know how to like hit somebody else's car so that it goes the way that he wants it to.
They teach that?
And they do. Well, he was
that is a wild class.
Go exactly into what his
they
career
teach
path
battle
was.
by vehicle.
But he does know how to like pursue someone and to hit them in a very special way. And so growing up with a dad he's a quintuple Capricorn, and he's the man who can prove astrology is real. I'm convinced. Growing up with a dad like that, I do see it very much so as like a straight man activity. Like,
yes,
this is my specialty. I'm really good at driving.
Well, you know what else? It's like, okay, a sort of, to be a bit gender essentialist, it's like a feminine, let's say a traditionally feminine hobby. You're thinking like like knitting, you're thinking crocheting, like, you know, there is something about the masculine nature of driving where it's like the only way I can relax is if I'm also operating heavy machinery, because I can finally let go knowing this isn't gay. Like, I am operating heavy machinery.
Yeah.
You're evoking Titan.
100%.
Yes, very much so. Oh my God,
Yes.
Titan. Sam and I saw Titan together. I mean, that was really turning the concept of going on a drive on its head by being a woman and having sex with a car.
Yeah, because I was about to say, especially if it's a stick shift and they're like handling the clutch and all that, they're having to switch the gears. There is just a weird thing where men are like, you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? And it's like, yeah, you're driving the car. Okay. You've made it harder for yourself so that the engine is a little louder and it goes a little faster. Cool.
It's also it's so invulnerable. Like, if you're going for a walk, someone might yell at you. You don't have like a metal wall around you. Like, someone can speak to you. But if you're in a car, you're like, I'm like, I need to be alone, but I can't risk being vulnerable for even a half a second.
It is the two. It's the two things. It's on the one hand, you are operating heavy machinery, and on the other hand, you are fully surrounded by like military grade metal that is fireproof. Like, you are literally like, well, now that I'm a transformer, I can maybe relax and be alone with my thoughts.
Do you not feel that there are ways to be seen as vulnerable behind the wheel? Because I will tell you,
I think if you have a silly little car.
Oh, do you have a silly little car?
No, I have a car that's like a tank, and I really think that like, I know it's well made.
So you will never be vulnerable.
So it does make me feel really safe. Meanwhile, I'm in like my friend's Honda Fit. It feels like we're in a game of Mario Kart or some shit whenever it rains. Like, we're like veering over the road.
No.
But Matt, you continue your thought.
I get self-conscious when it's raining, but only a little bit. And I don't know how high to turn up the windshield wiper.
Do automatic, babe.
Because I'm like, now there's automatic vehicles, but because I'm a little bit older than Sydney's only, she was born
15.
15, yeah. You just filmed Reno 911 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, prior to automatic, I'm like, if I turn up the windshield wipers too high, everybody who sees me is going to know how scared I am.
This is really interesting.
Can I tell you something? I really think not knowing how hard to turn the windshield wipers is such a gay guy specific type of anxiety. It's neither straight man nor straight woman. It's such a specifically gay guy anxiety, because it's the anxiety of like, oh no, this doesn't come naturally to me. I'm a fraud. Like immediately they know I'm gay because I don't know how.
Right.
I don't know how much to turn.
Know how to operate my car. My older brother used to do a thing where when he would drive us when we were little, and he's 16 years older than me, it would start raining and he would refuse to turn on the windshield wipers. I grew up in Northern Virginia. He grew up in like the Detroit area, Michigan. And he's like, no, I don't need them. You don't understand, because I grew up in a different place than you. I'm from the Midwest. He's like, look, I don't need these. And I'm like, can you please turn them on? But he sees it as like, he literally saw it as a beacon of masculinity, that he did not need the windshield wipers, even though it was a downpour. And I was like, you're going to kill us. You are going to kill us so that you can seem cool.
Well, that is insane. And I do have to say,
yeah,
that's fully insane.
I love him, but that was wild.
I do half relate though, and I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from. I have this thing with windshield wipers in particular. Just today, I was driving a car and it was raining just a little bit, and I was like, I use them very sparingly. Like I almost use them as if it's like, I don't want to like mess up the windshield. Like as if someone told me once, like if you use the windshield wipers when it's too dry, you can mess up the windshield. So I'm always waiting till it's the right amount of wet, and then I always do it like manually unless it's like pouring. Like I'll be like, okay, now it's ready. Okay, now it's ready.
If anything, I use them erratically. As soon as I get in the car, I'm doing the little spray back.
Just a dry wipe.
It's fully a dry summer day. You're like,
sometimes I look insane because my windshield wiper fluid will get stuck sometimes, and so nothing comes out, and it'll be like 95 degrees, and people just see my dry windshield wipers going across. I don't care. That's my right as a lady.
More generally speaking, like attitudes around rain preparedness are a really vital part of each person's personality. Like what I think is a big one is like you notice that it's about to rain or that it's drizzling or that it's cloudy. Do you make sure you put on shoes that are rainproof, or do you put on Converse and go outside?
If I'm in New York, yes.
I do rainproof. I'm going rainproof.
Yeah, I immediately do rainproof.
Yeah.
Like but there really are other people.
Rainproof is kind of a loose term because I'm not walking out with like wellies or whatever, but
you don't commit to the wellies sometimes. Nothing.
I want to be able to ensure that I can go calf deep in whatever. That's not even a joke anymore. Actually,
true.
New York was literally like 5 feet underwater. But yeah, the suede will stay inside. Even grabbing an umbrella.
I would hope so.
A lot of straight
grabbing an umbrella.
Like, right. I take out my umbrella. Next thing you know, sodomy.
I had an umbrella dad. Or I have an umbrella dad where at any given time he's trying to give me one. I have 4 umbrellas here in LA.
Yeah. You know what dads love? Randomly having a golf umbrella, even though they've never golfed.
Golf umbrella. Yes. Yes. Never played golf, but he has like 5 of them.
Yeah.
I have another going for a drive thing, which is I feel like as a child, my family would like go for drives a lot. And I think there's almost something to like, and I hated it. I was like, why are we doing this? And there's something when you're like a parent of children, I feel like where you're like, well, what else are we going to do with them? Like they can't be like being engaged all the time. They shouldn't be watching TV for 12 straight hours. Like, I guess we'll go for a drive. Does anyone relate?
So you went for a destinationless just drive.
Literally just a drive, like just to see around town.
My family, but also we would like, if they saw a house that was being built that looked interesting, we would stop and we would all go look and like explore the house that was mid-construction. Or if they saw a really nice rock on the side of the road, like a big one, they would lift it up and put it in our car, and now that rock would be in our front yard. And so we would just like go on these random drives, but we always came back with something generally.
I grew up in a fat family that we were always going to get food. If you were leaving the house for anything, if you're going to go for a drive, you're getting ice cream.
Sure.
Right.
Totally.
You're getting.
Yes.
My mom just told me yesterday that my dad went to an out of like several miles beyond the delivery area of what their house is for hot dogs. And I was like, that's not a food that you travel for. That's
Were they
not,
particular
there's
hot
no way
dogs?
that hot dog is apparently, but I was like, there's no way that hot dog was worth that drive. But you know what? I think that's why they probably haven't murdered one another, is that my dad needs that release.
But I do respect having a destination. Like, I would much rather drive for a hot dog than drive for no reason at all. And even like I was almost about to instinctively make the argument that like, oh, I love going on a drive along the water, because I do like being in a car when you can see the ocean. Mm-hmm. But I still don't think I would do that without having a destination. I would like pick a place to have a coffee that's on the beach so that I have an excuse to drive there.
I actually think that will help motivate me to actually do more drives, even though gas is now like $7 out here. So maybe this isn't a good hobby to.
Well, you're actually pointing to another thing that makes going on a drive recreationally straight is it's like, okay, so you're just burning fossil fuels for fun then. Like, you're not even, we all have to drive to get from point A to point B. You're just, as a hobby, contributing to climate change.
This is actually a lot of straight hobbies. This is boating. This is jet skis. Yeah. This is mowing the grass.
Yes, very true.
Golfing. It's just like, whenever, I mean, this is not the topic at all, but when someone's in a boat, I'm like, this is wild. Like, you're just dumping gasoline.
Well, that's how I feel about cruise ships, where I'm like, has no one read the paper?
My parents went through a brief obsession with cruises.
Really?
Did anyone else?
We went to one cruise, and when I tell you, it is still one of my most intense memories.
Yeah, tensions.
Intense how?
Just like I was probably like 13. We only did it once. It is really impressive. As a kid, you're like, oh my God, I'm on this giant boat that has multiple pools and there's food everywhere and it's all kind of free. And I'm like making camp friends, and we're at a different destination every day, and I get to be in a cabin, which feels like you're in a movie. I mean, I could see how you could get addicted to this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, they like the idea of being able to see a lot of places in a short amount of time and not having to like jump on a bunch of different planes. But I was never the kid, and I still am not the kind of person who can make friends like that on a boat. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to see you again.
I had the experience of making a friend group and then realizing I was sort of the flop unpopular one. And I was like, no. I was like, wait. I'm going back to my mom. Like,
exactly.
I'm not going to make new friends only to be like at the bottom of the totem pole.
How did you find out that you were the flop?
Yeah,
well, because the other ones were sort of like having romances and stuff, and I was not really part of that.
Did you tell
and
them
then I thought I could at least right. Well, I thought I could at least ally myself with the hot girl and be like her best friend, but then she was also being sort of standoffish to me, and I was like, okay, so what is there for me here?
Huh.
Oh God.
Well, I'm glad you stuck up for yourself.
Yeah.
This is basically what happened in Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And they
died. Do you guys think, I think this could go either way. Do you think convertibles, a drive in a convertible, is that less or more straight?
More straight.
Okay.
Oh, really? I was going to say less.
Really? Why?
Both.
Well, I think it's less because, in the vulnerability metaphor, you're literally opening yourself up to the world. There's a coming out when you're in a convertible, because instantly, people can see all of you, and you're at the stoplight, and they're, covered by pounds of metal, and you're free, and they can see you, and it's socialist. Anyone can sort of hop in your car if they feel like it. And I feel like there's such a it almost begs for people to yell, an F slur at you, because you're so vulnerable.
Right. That is less straight.
I think that's, first of all, I think that's very compelling.
Yeah.
And has really made me think. My instinct is to side with Matt, only because I'm like, a convertible to me really reinforces the gender binary because either you are literally Ryan Gosling and Drive or you're Barbie. It's like you're going to go in a masculine direction and be like a hot guy with a leather jacket, or you're Angeline.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I only know the people I know with convertibles are straight men, and like aggressively so, like car guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that's
and
why
any gay with a convertible is
way.
like a 70-year-old dating an 18-year-old.
One day,
But that was
Love is love.
my fingers crossed. Yeah, my take was like quite literally opening up. Like you could do a lot gayer stuff in a closed vehicle, you know, stuff that you would find, you know, in certain parts of the internet.
He's tinting the windows.
What about a hardtop convertible? What about a hardtop?
Then you can do it all.
Yeah, what about a hard top?
Sweetie.
Sweetie, have you thought of a hard top convertible? Is that what they're calling them nowadays?
Wow. My growing up, there was an era when my mom had one of the like VW Beetle convertibles.
Oh my God, jealous.
Which was
that was my dream.
So fun.
Aww.
But then she didn't like it anymore or something. It became like impractical. And so my dad would drive it to work and get like made fun of by his coworkers for seeming gay. And I was like, that's allyship. Like that he kept driving it to work anyway.
Do you know the VW Bug used to be like Herbie Fully Loaded is not entirely mythic because those cars did used to be muscle cars. Like my dad
that's right. I was like, they could talk.
Yeah, they could talk. No, that's where the mythicism comes in. But no, my dad drove around like a little VW Bug in the 80s, and if we'll all remember, that's the car Ted Bundy drove. When he was doing all his shenanigans, he was in a VW Bug. They used to have racing engines in those cars for some reason.
This is crazy.
I only know this because of my aggressively straight father.
I mean, I'm sorry to bring this up, but wasn't it like invented by Hitler?
Love
George,
that
you think
for
everything's
them.
invented by Hitler? Shut up.
I'm not looking this up. Sorry, we don't have fact checkers, but the VW Beetle was
in the World War II. Yeah,
Volkswagen for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
but whatever, we've reclaimed it.
Yeah.
Next question.
That was sort of, you know, that game of like whenever you see a beetle, you have to punch someone.
That's true.
Right?
That's very straight.
I can't believe we've brought it back to World War II after all this time. I love when things come full circle.
Yeah.
I'm back at the factory.
I'm back at the factory putting the racing engine in the VW.
Yeah.
And nobody check that, please. Just
no.
Let us be.
We don't have a single fact checker because this pod is, about spreading misinformation first and foremost.
Yeah, but with a sort of zeal and a zest for life.
Of course, joy.
We don't want to. Yeah, it's joyous. We're not trying to undermine democracy. We're just trying to have a little fun for once.
It's sort of religion, we're creating sort of a new meaning of the world, a new way of seeing things.
Yeah, we're Quakers.
We're essentially Quakers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts on going out for a drive as a straight topic?
I guess I want to say one thing, which is that when, how there's like that, there's like a phrase that no one actually uses, but was on the internet. I think it was called like a blouse, which is like a gay guy who is feminine, but actually is a top. Yeah. And that's what the VW Beetle is. It's a blouse.
Right.
You are so right, actually.
Wow.
That's
Whatever
a really
blouse
good point.
in German is.
Incredible.
Whereas I think a Mini
this to my
Cooper
dad this episode so he can really learn.
Yeah,
some
he needs
stuff.
to
I think a Mini Cooper is still a bottom.
Yeah, Mini Coopers are getting
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. Mini Cooper is no loads refused. I would love to see car porn. First of all, Herbie fully loaded style. The cars are sentient, and the Beetle is the top, and the Mini Cooper is the bottom, and they're fucking.
It's gay cars. It's adult animation.
We would love some fan art. Someone go to one of those AI websites.
An AI generator, and then people will be like, "Hey, this stole my work of cars."
Exactly.
Fucking.
Yeah, it'll be like me with a meme account.
Yeah.
I guarantee
Hitler
you
will
there
come
is
out.
porn.
Hitler will come back and be like, "Hey, I designed the VW book. Please credit creators."
Pixar's Cars. People have jacked off to that for sure.
Oh, you're so right.
You are so right. Well, it goes back to Sam's theory that all content is fetish content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All content?
All content. People are jerking it to this.
Everything is sex.
Yeah, people are listening to this in the VA and jerking it.
Oh my God.
There was just a TikTok. Go ahead.
Well, this was such a wholesome episode.
What were you going to say?
Until now. But sorry, go ahead.
Wait, I want to hear about the TikTok.
Yeah,
there was a TikTok sound of that one. Someone did the voice of that one car from Cars it's like the Republican car.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Are you talking about Mater the truck? He might be Southern, but you think Mater is a Republican?
Mater was at January 6th.
Oh, 100%.
What?
And the TikTok is just Mater going, "I want you." And it and it is so sexual. I'll send it to you so you can drop it into the episode.
Hey, Mater. It's nice to finally be back in Radiator Springs. I want you. What?
It makes me laugh every time I hear it.
Just laugh?
Do you know who...
Yeah, it sounded like you thought it was...
You're admitting
fully
something.
erect every time I hear it.
I have a huge bomb to drop. Do you know who voices Mater?
Who?
Oh, no.
Larry the cable guy.
No.
Damn.
That's your man.
Talk about my type.
That's your man. Man, it's sort of crazy. You know, George Carlin also does a voice in Cars. It's crazy to imagine Larry the Cable Guy and George Carlin in the same room doing voices for Cars.
Yeah, and Larry the Cable Guy is the one who's like, I think women can be funny.
Oh my God.
Should we do our final segment?
I think we have to.
Okay. Well, our final segment is called Shoutouts. And in this segment, we pay homage to the great straight oral tradition by giving a radio shout out to anything that we enjoy at all. So imagine it's 2001, you're at TRL shouting out to your squad back home, but about anything that you like. George and I will go first. And we, don't think of these ahead of time. So we're just going to riff it up.
Yeah, it's very, I think that's part of it. You sort of feel like one of those fortune tellers who has to think of something on this.
Yeah, the fortune teller.
Okay, I think I have
Go
one.
for it.
I can go.
Like
okay.
a con man.
What's up, freaks and losers out there? I want to give a shout out to my friend's baby. I am not going to say his name because I don't want to dox him and because he's underage by almost 18 years, actually. But I have now met this baby twice. And I have a huge announcement, which is I think he's smart. I know from his face, and I know from the things he looks at, and from the way he maintains eye contact sometimes, but not others, because I can see that sometimes he's interested in something and sometimes he's not. He has taste. This baby has taste. I have not decided yet if he's going to be smarter in the sciences or the humanities, but I think both could be sort of fun options. I think that he is going to be very successful, and I think he might even be in politics. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does, and I can't wait to see him again. Shout out to Redacted Baby.
Woo! Woo! Wow, I love that you're already putting pressure on this child that you barely know.
I just think he looks smart. Some people have that look. He looks mature for his age.
Sure.
And his age is 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Wow.
I don't even think he can see anything but blurs.
Well, he was smiling today, and his dad was like, I think it's just reflexes at this point. And I was like, no, he's happy.
Yeah, let him have that.
Okay, I will go. What's up, freaks, losers, and perverts around the globe? I want to give a huge, hearty shout out to Sufjan Stevens and his music. This man, what a journey. I'm coming at you. I don't know when this is coming out, but where I am, his new album Javelin just came out, and I listened to it today, and I was loving it. I was reading reviews and getting so emotional. I was reading his Instagram posts and getting so teary-eyed because this man has so many feelings and had so much stuff happen to him. And you meet this Sufjan Stevens in 2014 or whatever. 2006, that's it, way back when, and you're like, okay, yeah, indie music is cool, this guy won't be a part of my life forever. And then it's like, wait a minute, now it's 2023 and I'm listening and getting so emotional. This man is a genius. He has so much trauma, but he explores it so beautifully. It makes me want to jump off a cliff because I care. Life is amazing. Seek joy. XOXO, Sam.
Wow. That was really beautiful, Sam.
Oh, I tried.
I haven't listened yet. I'm really excited.
It's great.
Well, you guys, whenever you're ready, and you can go in any order and no pressure.
Are you ready,
Do you know
Matt?
what you're going to do, Sydney?
I have an idea.
You go for it.
All right. Hey, ghouls, freaks, girls, everyone else. I just want to give a big shout out to those thick ass rubber bands that sometimes come on your groceries.
Yes.
Like where they're binding them together. Yes. I love those. I love stealing them from little offices I'm in. I love house sitting for someone and maybe they have a whole jar of them. I'll take one home. I love those rubber bands. I repurpose them. I use them to fold up cords. I use them to keep snack bags closed. I'm sure there are more feasible options. I'm sure I could buy bag clips. I'm sure I could do any of that. I don't want to. I am reducing, reusing, recycling. I am saving the planet by doing it. I love those rubber bands. I somehow only have 3 of them right now, and it's breaking my heart. I don't know where to get more. If you ever want to send me anything, just send me a big old bag of those. I love them so much. And that's all from me for right now. Oh, also, if we're thinking music, Chappell Roan's new album, I really loved. I think that we are watching a star on the rise, and that's all I have to say. Kisses, love most of you, not all of you.
Woo! Wow, powerful. I love that.
That was great.
Those rubber bands are great.
I love them. I shouldn't have to buy organic asparagus.
I don't think they sell them in stores. No.
Okay, Matt, whenever you are ready.
All right, what's up, whores, sluts, and dick pigs? Shout out to Starbucks Venti Cold Brew Cold Foam Pumpkin Spice Cold Brew. Okay,
wow.
Is it basic?
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Is it the meme account of Starbucks drinks? Absolutely. Do I know what cold foam is? Still no, I don't. I think it's just whipped cream, but they've called it something different. But I love it. It is fall to me, and I will not apologize for that, okay? Having a little sip of foam, having cold brew kind of sucked through a foamy bit of pumpkin spice air, you can't beat that. You can't beat it. And I feel like she is fall. She is fall, and I would die for her.
Woo! That was powerful. I actually didn't know you could do that. Like, I didn't know you could get like normal coffee and then like a flavored foam. I'm learning so much. And
yeah, I didn't know really either, but they came out with their fall menu and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give her a try. You know, I don't want to say, no, I don't want to be, you know, misogynistic out the gate and just shut her down. And yeah, cold foam to me is a texture and like, it's not a liquid, a solid, or a gas. It sort of exists in between all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, how do they even do that? Because isn't the foam made by frothing the
steamed milk? Right.
Yeah, so they just let it get crusty.
So that's why I'm like, I don't get what cold foam is. Is that not just whipped cream?
Well, it's a patented process. It's a
It's
patented process.
Be one of the lead inventors one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think actually, I really agree with Matt that in general, I think flavored coffee drinks are so much better cold. I think the big mistake people make is getting a hot, like peppermint mocha or whatever. Like, I really think the flavor comes through in a more subtle way when it's cold.
Wow.
You don't agree, Sam?
The flavor comes through. A river runs through it. I don't know. I think I like a hot one better, but go off.
Okay.
But I'm not going to disagree that hard. To be honest, I feel neutral.
Well, you know, when I used to live in the Bay Area, this coffee shop, Phil's, had this iced mint mojito. It was a iced coffee mint mojito that was a very famous drink at the time. Delicious.
Ugh.
Would not want a hot mint mojito. I'll say that.
No.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
And that's all I'll say
A hot
about
drink
that.
slows you
And-
down, though. That's the one thing I like about a
Yeah.
hot drink is you can't
Sometimes
really
you gotta
chug.
slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta
I
take
have
time.
no
I don't feel
impulse
like-
control.
I know that God forbid I start getting between gays and their iced coffee. God forbid I weigh in on this. So, just learning so much in this conversation.
Yeah. Well, I think we've all learned a
Yeah.
lot in this conversation. And I guess
I agree,
I want to
actually.
just say thanks so much for doing the podcast. We really appreciate it. And
Thank you, guys.
thanks to the government for
Thank
sponsoring us.
you.
Yeah, thank you to the government. Thank you to BuzzFeed. thank you to all digital media companies.
And guns.
And guns.
And thank you to all guns.
Yes.
With that being said,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.